I'm here. Hello! Hope you're all having a good evening. It's a little bit weird being on webcam rather than a video. I'm wearing my dressing gown as usual, but I hope you're all having a I've got my mic on. I got worried that I didn't have my microphone on then. But I'm in my dressing gown as usual, and I hope you're all having a good day. With the chat, when you talk to me, it's going to be a little bit delayed, just so you know. I don't know why, there's a sort of a lag, so between you talking to me and me responding, or me seeing it, might be a little bit of a delay, but we'll go over it, it'll be fine. But hello, good evening, hope you're all good. I know it's like a little bit of a weird time, especially for people who usually travel, because we can't travel, and that's a little bit weird. And considering my whole YouTube channel is about travel as well, it's just a bit of a weird situation in it. But I hope you're all doing okay through all this quarantine and lockdown and things like that, yeah. So I hope you're all doing alright. Just to let you know, this stream's going to go on for about an hour. And what we're going to do then is, there's a new video coming out at 7 my time, which is this. There's the thumbnail for the new video, and it's going to be talking about the best ways for the best things you can do when you go on long haul travel, basically. There are some things, because I've been travelling long haul for years and years, I mean since I was literally like a year old, I've kind of got all these like tips and tricks and best things that you can do for when you're travelling long haul. So when we do get back to travelling again, hopefully you can take some of the hints that are in this video and use them for yourself. And I'll go back to my webcam now. Hello, right. I'm getting some chat through now, so let's say hello. Sean and CK on vacay mode. I am glad you're doing good. You're in Houston, Texas. Nice. I've never been to Texas, but I've heard there is like a really cool place to go. So maybe that can be on like my bucket list for the future. I don't know what that's about. That's how I write a bucket list, apparently. But I heard it's really cool there, and I've heard that the weather's really hot in the summer as well. I live in Wales and the weather is raining most of the year, if I'm honest. But we've had this is typical, because none of us can go anywhere. Obviously, this has been the nicest spring I have ever known. The weather has been beautiful, like so nice. And it's typical. And I bet you now, the second that the Welsh Government say, yes, guys, go out, have fun, live your life, it'll start raining again. Hello, New York Scratcher, how are you doing? Yeah, it's cool that people are tuning up. Hello, it's good to see you all. Just in case you haven't been to my channel before, basically what the Awkwardly Kim travel channel is about is basically showing people that you don't need to be extroverted or brave in a traditional sense or rich to travel. You can just be like a normal introverted lady like me and go travelling, and it's fine. You can enjoy yourself. You don't need to have people come travelling with you, because I know a lot of people won't go travelling because they're waiting on other people to go with them. Don't wait, just go travel. You honestly do not need to be rich to travel. I had this advert on YouTube today. I seem to get these adverts for these entrepreneurs who are like, earn more money now. But this guy was like, I used to be on $120,000 a year and I could only go on one holiday a year and it was awful. And I'm like, $120,000 a year and you can only go on one holiday? Jesus, I went on holiday for 100 quid. So I want to break those barriers of you don't need to be on $120,000 a year and you can't travel. You can go travelling even if you have 100 quid. I've been places and I've had like 60 euro with me and I've spent like 3 days perfectly fine in a place with 60 euros. You don't need to be rich to go travelling. That is like a massive misconception. Anyway, so the point of today's live stream is like multifaceted, I guess. So one thing we're going to do is, I've been having a lot of questions about when we're going to be travelling again or what that might look like. And if you want to see what the travel may look like in the future, I posted up a video on Monday about that. But I found some news stories about how travel might look in the future. Not might look in the future, sorry. About when we may be able to travel again. Because I know that there's been quite a few stories in the news today specifically about that. But we'll have a look at that in a little bit. And also, I want to make my channel more about you. So it's not just about me and my stories and my experiences and what I think that you should do, or things that I think will make stuff better for you. Because just because I've travelled loads and I know stuff about travel doesn't mean that you lot haven't travelled loads and know stuff about travel too. So I want to get you guys more involved in the videos, like basically sort of have you featured more in it. So if you're interested in that, then stick by, because we'll have a look at what videos I'm planning on posting in the next few weeks, and we'll sort of have a chat about them and, you know, tell stories and hints and tricks and things like that. Emma says that her best holiday was when it was £100. That's when we went to Venice. If there's anybody who's in the chat and see Emma talking, she's the one who actually edits the videos. So I film everything and Emma edits everything. So she's the one, when you tell me in the comments that the videos are really, the video editor really good, then it's Emma you're talking about. She's the genius behind it all, the editing. Yeah. So say hello to Emma and tell her that she edits good, because I think she does. And hello Valentina, how are you doing? Thank you very much. It's very interesting listening to me. I don't know how interesting it'll be after listening to me for an hour. But congratulations on your channel as well. You're doing amazing. Like, I'm really chuffed for you. You're doing so well. I'm so happy for you. And keep on doing it. Obviously, people like the Italian stuff, so go for it, innit? Go. I don't know what that is. Fly. Something. Yeah. Anyway, so what should we do now? I've got a little thing. Bear with me. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to remind you of merch. So I don't know if many of you know, but I have, it's not merch, it's products that I produced a few months ago. So if you are interested, obviously I didn't get this part prepared, did I? Well done. We'll get there. It's the first go. Right, so I made some products a few months ago and I want to show them to you because I think they're pretty cool and I think that they will be really handy for you when you travel. The one that I like the most is the little tins that we made because I find them really handy for packing. So when I travel quite a lot with just a backpack. So these little tins, I put a little bit of bobs in and take them places, and it means that everything is kind of safe in the little tin rather than it going everywhere around the backpack. And they've got inspirational quotes on, so things that I think are really important to remember when you're travelling. So if you're feeling like shy or uneasy about when you're travelling, these are like quotes you can look at and be inspired to. And we'll find it. There we go. Right, I can do screen share. I'm so very new to. There you go. Oh, thank you, Valentina. I think that me and do make a good team. Very kind of you. So these are. Oh, I don't know how well that's going to show on the screen. It might be a little bit jumpy. But anyway, I'll let that play for like 30 seconds. Anyway, that was that. If you're interested in any of those products, the link is in the description of this video and the description of every video. Thank you very much. Ah, nice. I'm glad you like the tin, Valentina. That's really cool. I find them really handy. I like them. But then again, I am very biased considering I was the one that designed them. So there we go. Back to the webcam. Right, so what we'll do now is we'll look at some news. So back onto that. Right. So I read quite a lot of the travel news. I find it quite interesting. Just before we talk too much about stuff though, be very aware that at the moment, at least in the UK, the FCO advises against all non-essential travel. So we're not going to be travelling abroad at the moment. So if you're wondering if we're going to be travelling abroad in the next couple of weeks, the answer is no. Yeah. So just be aware that we're not travelling yet, and at least in Wales anyway. I know that lockdown restrictions are different depending on the country that you live in. So I can only be more specific about the country that I'm in, which is Wales. We are still under a stay-at-home thing. What's it called? Warning? A stay-at-home. We've got to stay at home basically. We're allowed to leave the house for only essential travel. So that means things like going for a walk for exercise, going shopping, essential work. You can't leave the house otherwise. So at least in Wales for the next 2 weeks we're stuck at home. Can't wait to travel again. I can't wait to travel again either. I am ready. I am ready. Considering the amount that I travel so much in January and February, I think I spent like 1 or 2 weekends at home, because the start of January I was in Dublin, and then we went to London, and then we went to San Francisco, and then I went to Edinburgh, and I was going to be home for a few weeks, and then there were more places we were going to travel, but couldn't because, you know, lockdown. But anyway, hello Jay's Free Chill Sounds. I played your music earlier. So if anybody was wondering what that song was at the start before I started, it was Jay's Free Chill Sounds. So go subscribe. They do copyright free music, and that's my mother. Yeah, we did go mental on travel in January and February. Do you know what? If January and February was the rest of my life, I would be well done for it. Anyway, so the FCO advises against all but essential travel. But there are some countries that are sort of slowly opening up, or at least sort of having little bubbles of travel. So Australia and New Zealand's one of them. The Baltic states is another one. So the Baltic states are Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania are thinking about making a little sort of travel bubble. So you can travel between those countries without having to quarantine and things like that. That's kind of something similar to what the UK are thinking to do with France, and I've heard rumours of it possibly being Germany as well. Which, do you know what? I'm not against going to France or Germany. I don't know when that's going to happen, because the government hasn't said anything. They said that they're going to have a 14-day quarantine for anybody who visits the UK, but they haven't said anything more than that. I don't know if you saw in the news as well earlier on in the week that Ryanair want to start flying as well in June, and they said that this 14-day quarantine that the government want to bring in, they can't do it, like enforce it by law. So even if they did say that we had to do it, there's no way of enforcing it by law. To be fair, the guy who runs Ryanair is a little bit of a, he's on a little bit of a mad one most of the time. So he kind of doesn't like rules, maybe. But Ryanair want to start going anyway, so I'm guessing when more airlines start getting a little bit more stubborn and start just flying places, I'm guessing more people will start getting a little bit more sort of disobedient, I'm going to say, and start travelling. Let me go back and look at the comments. I heard about France too. And Jay's Free Chill Sounds knows. Thank you. Yeah, so let's have a look. Quickly looking at this. So in a statement, Lithuania's Prime Minister, I'm not going to try and attempt to pronounce it, called the move an opportunity for businesses to reopen and a glimmer of hope for the people that life is getting back to normal. The thing is, in the UK, we're not allowed to sort of happily go to England for a jolly, and the people from England aren't allowed to come to Wales for a jolly, so we're still, the borders aren't closed, but we're still kind of like, you can't just go into the other countries for no reason, you know. Both Finland and Poland have also been approached to join the Baltic travel bubble. Estonia and Finland have eased travel for business and education already, as have Poland and Lithuania. Germany has begun to partially reopen, as said it plans to open all of its borders on the 15th of June, provided the new case number doesn't worsen. So there we go. Depending on whether we can travel, Germany's looking at opening its borders from the 15th of June. The thing is, all these countries opening their borders is obviously kind of good news for people who like to travel, but we've got to be aware of what the FCO does and what the travel advice is and things like that as well. Sorry, water. So even though it's really cool that countries are starting to open, we still got to be aware that we might not be able to open. We might not be able to travel. Another country that I think is looking at opening is Greece. They seem to be wanting to push forward to open very soon as well. I think for them it's more of like an economic thing. They haven't really been hit that hard by the coronavirus, and they're sort of suffering from the poor economic part of the coronavirus without suffering from the sort of the hardship of it from the sort of health point of view of it, the coronavirus. Try again. So Greece have suffered the economic downfall of the coronavirus, like most countries have, but haven't sort of been hit so hard when it comes to numbers of people getting ill and dying, which is amazing. That's amazing. It's just I think they're sort of ready to start going again, you know, which it's understandable because a lot of their economy is based on tourism, and without tourists going in, they hardly have an economy, you know. Tourism in Greece. Yes, tourism in Greece. Right. Next thing I had was coronavirus. Will we be able to go on holiday? So we're not allowed to go on holiday now, even if we're in the UK, because it's not considered vital. England have kind of put ish dates in place when they're sort of thinking that they want to open places. So by here it says you're free to drive any distance to other destinations in England, like parks, beaches, but are not supposed to stay overnight somewhere you do not normally live. This includes any secondary property you may own. This means you cannot rent a self-catering cottage or Airbnb property in the UK. And the UK campsites, hotels and holiday parks will remain shut at least until July the 4th. At least until July the 4th. Which means that there's opportunity potentially after July the 4th for places to start opening if the R number goes down and, you know, all this. So, can I go on a foreign holiday? Which is a question which most people are asking. So, the Foreign Office is still advising British nationals against any non-essential foreign travel, which, as I said at the start, and if you're abroad, come home, basically. Various other countries, like the US, have travel restrictions which prevent or limit foreign arrivals, and many airlines are offering a reduced service or have suspended all flights. The UK have said it will introduce a 14-day quarantine period as soon as possible, which will apply to both visitors and UK nationals returning home, though people coming from Ireland and France will be exempt. So maybe just go on holiday to France. I don't know what to tell you. So, should I book a summer holiday? The too long didn't read of this is you can book it, it might get cancelled. Make sure that it's covered by ATOL or you've got some kind of travel insurance on it. Because travel restrictions may ease across the UK, they may not necessarily ease for us to go into Europe. Ryanair and British Airways plan to ramp up their flights in July, and EasyJet hopes to join them. All TUI and First Choice holidays are cancelled at least until the 11th of June. Health Secretary said that he warns that big lavish international holidays are unlikely to be possible this summer. But then other countries have been saying that they want to open up in the summer, so this is it, isn't it? It's hard to say. My optimistic self who wants to go travelling is hoping that places open because I want to go travelling, don't I? So I'm I'm hopeful, you know. So Sean and Casey, we are so ready to start cruising again. Hopefully the CDC opens up the cruise ports. That'd be nice. I've been on a few cruises, and cruises are very nice because basically you go to sleep, you're in one place, you wake up and you're in another place, and you get to go. It's basically like staying in like an all-you-can-eat buffet, not self-catering, what are they called? All-inclusive, that's it. It's like staying in an all-inclusive resort, but you get to go to new places every day instead. I've been on a cruise to Alaska twice. Where have you been? Because I know that there's like loads all around the world. The one in Alaska was really cool. We got to go to Glacier Bay, that's it. And we went on a railway up through the mountains to Yukon, which was very good as well. Mark, way up, how you doing? Very good to see you in a live stream. Hello. We want to reschedule our Germany trip next year. Do you know what? I would be hopeful that it would happen. Not that I'm the government or know anything about, you know, chemistry and viruses, but you would hope by next year that we'd be travelling again. I know that I want to go to Iceland in November. 2 seconds. What do you want, boy? The cat wants out. You coming over? You coming over? No? Okay, never mind. The cat's fine. No, tell your travel agent that they're lying and Wales is amazing. The thing about Wales is it's a bit out of the way, but depending on how you're travelling, it can be a really nice place to come by and see. The Wales is very rural, and I can see it's not the most exciting country in the world to visit, but it has really cool things like castles and really pretty mountains and like a lot of history. If you're into mythology, there's a lot of mythology. The cat wants to go out now, 2 seconds. Go on, get out. Sorry. If you're into mythology and stories to do with mythology, there's a lot of that in Wales as well. So Wales is a cool place to come and visit if you like mountains, castles, and mythology. If you're looking for like beaches to relax on, there are really pretty beaches. There are, but it rains a lot in Wales, so don't be coming because the weather's nice, because a lot of the time it isn't. You've been to Alaska, Jamaica, Honduras, the Bahamas, Belize, Vancouver, Victoria. My family live in Victoria in Canada. Yeah, so we've been to Victoria and Vancouver loads and loads. It's a really nice place. I like Victoria a lot. Where am I? I'm behind on my chat. What about Brexit in the mix of all this? Do you know what? I have no idea. I have no idea what their plans are to do with Brexit. I could not tell you. Like, they're just saying, yeah, it's all going ahead. I can't say. I'm sorry. Next year, everybody come to Wales. Yes, everybody come to Wales. We can like rent an Airbnb or something and have like a massive awkwardly Kim travel party. Rent a castle. There we go. We rent a castle. Do I know of any travel agents that specialise in Wales? If you're looking for websites to see on like cool things to do, I'd maybe go on to the Visit Wales website. Do you know, I've just realised that I've had this article on my screen and I haven't spoken about it for an age. visitwales.co.uk. So I typed it in wrong anyway. Visit Wales. So there's loads of things on this website which tell you about Wales, places to stay, things to do, destinations. So I can't tell you if there's like specific travel agents that can help you, but there are websites like Visit Wales that can kind of tell you the really cool things to do in Wales. The cool things to do in Wales, there's a lot to do with nature and things like that, but you've got to be aware that, like, bring a cwgwl, you're going to probably get wet. Oh, okay. Where are we? We're planning a train trip across Canada. Wow, that'd be amazing. I'd love to do that one day. A party at my house. My house is tiny. It'll fit about 3 more people in here. I can barely fit the cat sometimes. Do you know there's that expression that's there's just about enough room to like swing a cat? That's like my house literally. There's not that I'd swing the cat, Jesus. But there's yeah, but my house is tiny. I know that in America and Canada houses are really big, and in the UK we've got tiny, teeny little houses. They're so small. Like, I'm against one wall by here, and then the other wall isn't even that far from like the rest of my hand. Teeny tiny houses. Where are we? I'm behind on the chat. I'm coming. I'd like to go visit Australia and Hawaii on a cruise. Also Tahiti and Barbados. I was told Bora Bora is beautiful. All those places sound amazing. I've been to Hawaii, and Hawaii is very nice. There are parts of it which are very sort of built up and kind of American. But then, you know, to be fair, it is in America. But some of it are still like very traditional, and it is a beautiful country. It is beautiful. I've never been to Australia. It's one of those places I'd love to go. Same with Barbados. We're planning train trips throughout Europe, Scotland, Ireland, and then perhaps Wales. The cool thing about Wales, Scotland, and Ireland is that we're connected by ferries. So if you did end up in Scotland, you can get the ferry over to Ireland. You can come down through Ireland and then get the ferry across to Wales. So we're all connected by ferries that go around. And the train line in Wales isn't the best. Just to pre-warn you, because we're such a rural country, the infrastructure's not the best here. But there are train ferry connections. We went to Alaska from Vancouver. Yes, we did. I really like Victoria, Canada. We visited the Botanical Gardens. It was amazing. Yeah, the Bouchard Gardens are really good. We went there not last Christmas, the Christmas before. Oh my gosh, you should see it at Christmas. There's all these like amazing lights. They like light up all of the plants, and they have the 12 days of Christmas around the park in like Christmas lights. It is so pretty. Yes, where are we? Yes, bookmark the page. Good. We'll get there on the your wife is from Germany. Took it a while to get used to our 3 kilometers square 2-story house. Yeah, I think that a lot of the European homes are very tiny. I think, at least where I live, we live in an old coal mining village. So a lot of the houses here are the old coal miners' houses. So I live in an old coal miner's house. And back when they were building these houses in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, they were building them tiny. So like 50 people would live in like a tiny house. So I live in one of those old houses that the miners used to live in. They built them for the workers. And they built them so tiny that in like the 60s they had to build like an extension in the back. We've still got the old sort of shed thing in the back of the garden where the toilet used to be, because the toilet didn't used to be attached to the house. It used to be like right down the end of the garden, like it wasn't even a shed, it was like 4 walls and like a hole in a wall for you to like climb through. Oh my gosh. I heard the train trip across Canada is really nice. My wife wants to go on for our anniversary. My dad keeps on going on about it. You can get the train from like Toronto all the way to Vancouver. There's to go across the Rockies, I think there's 2 different trains you can get. So there's the Rocky Mountaineer, which is more expensive, and I think some of the cars of the Rocky Mountaineer have like a glass roof, so you can see like straight through. You don't have to like look through windows because the whole roof is made out of glass. And then you just got the normal train which goes through as well, which is still be an amazing trip, but it's a lot cheaper. So if it's budget you're after, I think is it called Via Rail or something like that in Canada? Via Rail? Gotta Google it now. Via Rail? Yeah, Via Rail. So you got Via Rail in Canada, and they're cheaper than the Rocky Mountaineer if you're going across Canada on the train. Apparently. Can't wait for Scotland and Ireland. I went to Scotland earlier on this year, and I went to Edinburgh, and it's such a pretty city. I went to Ireland as well earlier on this year as well. Ireland's really nice as well. I haven't seen that much of Scotland and Ireland, really, but they're very, very beautiful countries. Like, I would go for Scotland and Ireland and Wales over visiting England. Like, no offence to anybody who's from England who's in this chat, but I think that Wales, Scotland and Ireland are far superior countries. We've got like a really rich history of like Celtic mythology as well and things like that. I think that from that point as well, if you're interested in things like that, I said this earlier, I'm just repeating myself, but it's I think it's really interesting. What infrastructure? We live 30 miles from anywhere high up on the mountains. Oh, that sounds really nice. Do you know what? I'd be well done for living up on the side of a mountain away from everyone. Yeah, we live in a little village, so there's stuff here. We've got like little supermarkets around. The closest to the little supermarket is only about 10 minutes drive, so we're not that far. Behind my house is like a field and there's forest, so it's nice, it's alright, it's fine. I like how I'm going, yeah, it's nice, it's alright, it's just going downhill. Yeah, ooh. Only 200 people live there. What have we got? We got like about 4,000 people who live in our village. It's quite big. Outhouse bathroom. Yes, that's what we had. An outhouse. A tiny little outhouse. I've heard there might be a pub or two we can visit in Scotland. You know what? There are plenty of pubs in Ireland as well. You want to go to London? Sky Garden is where I went in the elevator. Sky Garden, what you have to do if you want to go visit the Sky Garden is you need to, there's a couple of ways you can get in there. One way that you can go is you have to go after 9 o'clock at night and you queue to get in, I think that's how Emma did it. You can book a table at one of the restaurants and you can go, or you can book ahead and get a free ticket. You can't just walk up there in the day and get in though, you need a ticket or a booking of some kind. If you want to go to Sky Garden, I would recommend trying to get your booking, I think they open about 3 weeks before the date, so get a booking in there. So basically if you know what date you want to go there, keep on looking to see when the date opens so you can book it, because they book fast. So if you want to go to Sky Garden, it is free, but get a booking. You don't have to get dressed fancy to go to the Sky Garden, and you don't have to get dressed. You can go in just normal clothes, I promise. It's a very nice view though. I like going to places that are high up so I can see the views, and the Sky Garden I think is a particularly good view of London. Whether there are better views, I could not tell you, because ride the London Eye. I've been on the London Eye. when I was a lot younger, and I remember it, I enjoyed. It's quite expensive now, I think. I think it's about 30 quid. You might be able to get some deals on. I know sometimes you can get like 2-for-1 deals, but otherwise it's quite expensive. If you're not bothered about price and stuff, then, you know, go for it. It's fine. If you're more concerned about budget, then the Sky Garden would be better. If you're going to London as well, there's something else that I want to recommend you go visit when you're in London. What's it called? Mega Tours. Here it is. Okay, very good. So they're closed at the moment, obviously COVID-19, but this tour of London, you get to see like all the good sites around London, and it literally costs like a £5. John? Yeah? I'm live streaming. Okay. You okay? Anyway, this if you put this in your little memory thing, notebook or whatever, it's called Mega Sightseeing, and it's a really good, you get 2 hours guided tour around London, and it costs about a £5, and it's good to do as one of the first things that you do when you get there, because you get a real good bearing of where everything is in London. I went last year to London and I didn't know much about where places were. Like, I knew that there were places in London, but I didn't have like a very good sort of view where everything was. And I did this tour and it helped me so much knowing where places are. So that's something that I recommend that you do if you go to London, and it is so cheap. The live stream, say hello. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get tea with the Queen though, sorry. The thrift stores that I visited were Brixton. There are better places in the UK to see thrift stores than London. But I think that Brixton's supposed to be one of the best places in London for it. But there are better places in the UK to thrift store. Yeah, right. Do you know this stream is supposed to be about doing stuff on the scripts, and I haven't even done anything yet. Right. What are we doing? Anyway, so travel news was we will probably be travelling soon, hopefully, but I can't say a date. I would hope that it would be tentatively by summer, maybe. Actually, yeah, probably Bristol is a good shout for thrifting. Cardiff's not too bad as well. You're probably better off in like smaller towns for thrifting though. Like, even places like, right, don't go to Llanelli. Llanelli is an awful falling apart town that I live by. But there's like little towns like Llanelli, don't go to Llanelli. Have good charity shops because it's quite a poor town. So there's loads of charity shops. So if you want like a good rummage, go into a falling apart ex-mining town. It's probably good. You can get the megabus from London to Bristol. So do you know the company I was talking about for the London tours? They run by Megabus, and you can go from London to Bristol on the megabus, and it costs hardly anything. Not that they're running at the moment. No, well, whatever, it's not running, so so I can't look at anything. The London markets. I have been to Covent Garden Market, which was quite cool, because they have like buskers playing all around the markets. So it's a cool place to visit. Like, I wouldn't say like it's #1 visiting destination, but if you've got like a few spare hours, it's worth going to have like a squint at it. If Valentina's still here, and possibly Emma as well, they'd know more about stuff like that in London than I necessarily would, because I haven't been to London that much. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap to my Asana quick. You're going to see all of my work. I should probably swap to webcam rather than staying on that all the time. So if you're looking to organise your life a little bit better, I would recommend Asana. Asana is a really cool free like online software thing that makes it really easy to organise things. So if you do YouTube videos, I would recommend using Asana. I'll go back to window caption now. Come on, there we go. So with Asana, the really cool thing is that you can organise things into blocks, I guess. So you see here that we have different blocks for videos that are in progress, videos that have been scripted and we're just waiting to like confirm that we're happy with them, ones to film, ones to edit, ones that are being edited, and then videos that are complete. This is today's video, which we bumped back by a few days because it was meant to come out on Monday, but it's come out later. So what you can do then is you click into, I'll go into this one. You can click into it, and then I've got like the part of a script already started on it, and then you can mark them as complete or not complete. So if you're looking for a kind of software to organise yourself doing videos, I would recommend Asana. And the cool thing as well is you can have different boards then for different things. For some reason I've got 2 boards for live streams. Well, I need to sort that out, don't I? Anyway, so the next couple of videos that are coming out, one of them I've called, these are sort of videos, they're not the actual title potentially that they're going to be, they're just sort of working titles. Ooh, sorry. So this one's called Why Length Matters When It Comes to Travel, and it's about the difference between weekend travel away. I'll go into it. Here we go. Weekend breaks, sort of 1 to 2 week holidays and extended travel, and why, depending on your situation, why a certain type of travel would be better for you than others. Why weekend breaks are good, why standard holidays are good, why extended travel is good or bad, whatever is best for you. Yes, I have my tie-dye t-shirt on. You think that this would be the only t-shirt that I have. So I don't know if you have any stories when it comes to travelling for short times or long times, but for me, I've done a mix of the 3 different ways that I'm talking about the travel. So I have done short breaks, I've done one 1 to 2 weeks holidays, and I've done longer travel. I've been away for 5 months as well. And the thing is, depending on your life situation, what you want from travel, anything like that, depends on what's best for you and best for your travelling. I went to Canada, Mexico and the US for 5 months when I was 19, and it sounds a lot fancier than it is. Basically, I went to Canada. I stayed with my family in Canada, and we went to America and we went to Mexico whilst having the sort of base being in Canada. Wife has told me that jet lag from Germany is bad. Not looking forward to 14 hours on the plane. So jet lag, I've heard that jet lag going east is worse than jet lag going west. I always suffer really bad with jet lag when I'm flying from Canada back to the UK. It is atrocious. But when I fly from the UK to Canada, so heading like west, it's not so bad. And I think it's about like the time differences and how it sort of affects your body and what you're used to sleeping to. So when I fly west to Canada or to America, I find that I fall asleep early, but then wake up early. So I just go fall asleep at like 8 in the evening and then wake up at like 5 in the morning, so it's not so bad. But when I fly back the other way, I feel like, I don't know, I just can't sleep, and then all I can do is sleep. Hello, Gamila. I don't know, I'm probably going to like not say names properly. Gamila? Sorry. I hope you're doing okay today. How are you doing? We are talking about travel, and at the moment we seem to be talking about jet lag, and we're going to be here for another 10 minutes. So I hope that if you've got any questions to do with anything to do with travel, just don't be shy, ask me, and maybe I know the answer, and maybe I don't. And if I don't, then maybe I know somebody who does. But yeah, jet lag coming back from Canada is atrocious. I always end up like falling asleep at about 5 in the morning, and then you gotta wake up at 7 to go to work. So it's terrible. At the longest flight I've done is about 11 hours, and as long as you keep yourself occupied and you figure out when to nap properly. Not that I want to like give too much away of the next video, because the next video is come on screen, is talking about long haul flights and how to like tips to make them better. As long as you sort of organise yourself, you can do a bit to alleviate jet lag by what you choose to do on your flight. And like I said, not that I want to give too much away from the video, because the video's like going to be up in literally 9 minutes. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so video coming out. How do I come back to what I was on? There we go. Yeah, cool, right. So I don't know if any of you have anything to add about long travel, or if you think that short or long trips are better for you and what you'd prefer to do. Question is, what's your memory about food when you travelled? Like my best memory of food is always Greece, because the food is amazing. I mean, not greasy food, I mean food from the country of Greece. Have you ever been to Greece? Because the food there is outstanding. I think that it's one of my favourite cuisines, and Mexico is a close second, but I think that Greek food is the best in the world. Yeah. Yes, that's what best, right. So long trips as in like a month away, and short trips being a weekend. Yes. I put down on my script, I'll show you. Have I moved it off of... There we go. So I've kind of split the script into 3 sections. So we've got weekend breaks, standard 1 to 2 week holidays, and extended travel. Extended is pretty much anything over 2 weeks, because a lot of people tend not to travel for more than 3 weeks. Kind of seems like the absolute maximum of like a normal holiday, I guess, and then it kind of turns into travel rather than just a holiday. Valentina, love the Greek food. Yes, the Greek food is amazing. What country do you live in? Gamila? Sorry. Your trip to Europe is shaping to be a month or more. That'll be amazing. It'll be outstanding. There's so many interesting countries in Europe. If you have the opportunity to travel long haul and you can go to multiple places, then I think that's like always amazing. Because I'm kind of tied to I don't know, work and things. Travelling on short trips better suits my lifestyle at the moment, but I know definitely when I was younger, longer trips suited my lifestyle better. And Emma asked a good question. She said, what's the reason you want to go for a long trip? I'm guessing one of the reasons is because it's a 14-hour flight, and if you're going to do a 14-hour flight, you want to make the most of your time. Because I don't think I'd do anything over about 6 hours for less than like a week. No. But then again, I would fly to New York and I'd go there for like 4 days. Because I just want to go to New York one day. We don't get 3-week holidays here in America, but we're retired now, so we shall go for as long as we fancy. Oh, that's nice. I'd like to be retired. I know in America, don't you get like 2 weeks holiday a year? And in the UK we get 28 days. And if we time out 28 days properly, I used to get so much time off from my other job. I used to work full time in retail, and I used to be really good at figuring out when to have time off to like get as many holiday days as I could. But I couldn't imagine only having two weeks off though, like 14 days. Yeah, I don't think I'd cope. Luckily, I work part-time and I'm self-employed for the rest of the time. And the self-employed, I can, like, because it's self-employed, I do what I want, don't I? So, when we go to Disneyland, it's a 2-hour plane. Disneyland Paris from us, I think, is an hour and a half flight to Paris is from here. Average holidays here are 1 week. Oh my gosh, I could not imagine just having like 1 week off. You want to go anywhere, you just want to like have a rest. Nah, not for me. You can't have like... Thing is, you need like a work-life balance, and if you haven't got a work-life balance, it's just gonna like cause you to go crazy. It caused me to go crazy anyway. That's why I left my job in retail, because it was causing me to go crazy, even though I was having time off. Like, a lot of it was spent just resting. And I want to do more than just rest in my life. I want to go see things and explore. And, you know, see things and explore. We're coming towards the end of the live stream. We have about 3 minutes left. My wife was shocked when she came to America and was told what she would be paid, despite her college degree. Oh my gosh, is the pay really bad in America as well then? Because, like, if I'm honest, down in Wales where I live, it's not the best. I've got a university degree, and a lot of the jobs around here are minimum wage, but I think our minimum wage in the UK is higher. And I know that if you're like in a waitressing job as well, the minimum wage is dire because you're expected to like rely on tips, which I think is like, you know, poor. Don't allow holiday until you worked with them for a year. Oh, I don't think so. I'll stay in Wales. I'll stick with my minimum wage. So don't go. I got to go. I need dinner. Plus, there's a new video coming out which everybody's going to go watch as well. And I'm going to be in the comments for a little bit as well. And I'll be back on live stream on Monday at 6 for an hour as well, if you can all tolerate me again. Oh, let me go off. Why am I in the corner? Oh, I see, I went on my own live stream. Right, so I need to go to... I'm going on to the page. Sorry, bear with me. I'm so unorganised. We'll get better. The thing is, right, if you don't try something, you can't learn things and then you can't get better, so this is it, isn't it? How can you better your life if you don't try anything? And we are going to be going on to this. I am going to unschedule it. Please. Right, then it's going on to private. There we go. Right, so I'm gonna window capture. Yeah, there we go. I'm on the right page now. So what I'm going to do in about 30 seconds is I'm going to change this from private to public, and we're all going to go over and watch the new video. Some jobs don't allow a holiday. When I was a US Marine back in the 70s, I was paid $100 a week before taxes. That's not good. Considering you're putting up your life for your country, you'd expect more money than that, wouldn't you? I get more than that, and for my part-time job, and I don't put my life up for my country. I don't know what to say. Your country is crazy. Right, so I'm gonna go now. I really enjoyed this live stream and I hope that you did as well, and I think it would be nice to do this again in the future, so I will be seeing you all on Monday, and if you have any questions for me about travel, I'm always open to answering them the best that I can, the best in my knowledge that I can. So I'm going to put this live now and then we'll all head over to the new video. Public, come on, we can do it. Done. Ready? It's going live. Now! So, Emma, you're an admin, so you can share the link for me, if you don't mind, if you're still there, if you're listening. Or maybe I can share the link. Where am I? I'm not very good at anything. I'm just showing how inept I am and everything. Right, we will get that. I will get to the live chat of the live stream. I will share the link and then I will go and have dinner and you can all watch the video and we can all have a merry time, and I'll see you all on Monday. There's the link to the new video. Yes, thank you very much. Less stress, I agree. But I hope you all have a good evening and I'll see you all Monday, and I really enjoyed this and I hope you did too, and if you have questions write them all down and we'll have a chat on Monday as well about it. But have a good night. We'll get to... There we go. Bye! Yes, see you Monday.